MiniWarGaming's Beat the Cooler Bat Rep!
So here we are in part 2 in the third turn of the Zlanthos. We've got my squad on the far left, still moving up, trying to get a better flank, because there's only those two guys that are broken, so I'm not particularly worried about him being able to fire back at me. And if anything, I aim to try and kill him off right here. So those 5, they do a combined shot, and they get a bunch of wounds and finish off that unit nice and easily. These two guys, they move up. Because he was already in the flame, he doesn't have to take the hit from it. If he had not been in it and moved through it, he would have, or if he had been... And then I fire away, and I use a bunch of points to adjust hits against his flamethrower to guarantee a kill, and then kill his flamethrower right there. And I tried to break his nearby units by doing that, but unfortunately he does pass all of those morale checks. My commander then jumps up on top of the wall, and his commander does a overwatch shot at him. He rolls boxcars, so he misses and cannot re-roll that with command points. Double 6 is always a fail. So my commander fires back. He fails to wound, but I use a couple command points to make sure that I kill that guy. I unfortunately don't wound anyone else nearby, but I do get 1 on his commander to knock him down to 4. So now he's got to start doing leaderships, and he fails it on that unit and uses a bunch of points to make sure that they pass. And then he actually passes with his commander, which is really good for him because it means that he didn't break, which would have been bad news. But my other squad now jumps up on top of the wall because he's wounded, and we should be able to kill him here. So my units move up, just trying to get the best kind of line of sight while not exposing myself too much, hopefully. So one guy stays behind, the rest jump up on top. They go to fire at his commander. They roll a 10, so they didn't get very much, and then they roll a 9. They only get 1 hit, and they fail to wound. But he does have to do a morale, but he passes that easily. And now on the far right flank, I do another tactical maneuver to get out of the way of the flamethrower and start working my way backwards, because it doesn't look like that's going to work. And it was definitely demoralizing not to kill his whole units there, but it happens. Dice are dice. And now his commander moves up, and he's got almost full command points against my commander, who's got next to none. He fires away, does get a hit, and he does do a wound, and he gets D3 wounds, and he does 3 wounds to my commander, who goes down to 2 from the first shot, and he breaks. So now my commander is broken, which means the units nearby can no longer use his morale, which is definitely a big hit because they go from 9 to 6 minus whatever they're going to be at when they get wounded. So he moves his other unit up and fires at the 2 guys behind the wall there, getting a couple hits, I believe. Oh, and then he has to use a command point to adjust that roll because he only rolled a 10. 8's more like it, and he does a wound, but he adjusts it, or rather he didn't do a wound and he adjusts it to get a reroll and still fails to wound, but I do have to do a morale check, which I promptly fail because I need to roll less than 6. And now his other flamethrower moves up to hit the 3 guys on the hilltop, which easily hits and easily wounds at least 2 of them there and kills them. So they are definitely not doing good, and then wounds another one because he adjusts the dice to make that a kill, and they fail their morale as well. And now his unit moves up a little bit to take a few pot shots at the guys on the hilltop. Easily hit and easily wounded to kill that last one. So that squad is now down to 1 man, and the Lanzos begin their turn. So first off, my commander does rally, because if he rallies first, then the other units nearby can go by his morale to try and rally on their activations. And so they're back up there, and these guys, they run heading back because I figure I wasn't able to kill him. That was kind of my gambit to jump up and finish him off. So now I'm going to try and gather up as many objectives as I can. And so these guys move around, grabbing objectives pretty much all over the place, getting one on the far left, and then there's a few in the middle that we're going to try and grab. So these guys move over and they pick up that objective right there. And these guys on the right flank are jumping up on the hilltop. First they'll move up, and hopefully we can get a few shots at him and then pick up the objective, or even better, kill him. See, I'm moving around here because I do have to keep in a coherency of 6 inches from the last guy to jump up, and so he jumps up there, but that's all we can really do. Corporation commander jumps up and he fires at the unit on the ground there, gets a bunch of hits, does a bunch of wounds, and he adjusts it to make sure that they are killing blows, killing the last 2 of that squad, which is certainly unfortunate, but my commander does pass his morale. His flamethrower moves up and goes back onto Overwatch, and unfortunately there isn't really anything I can do about that right now, and I can't get around it, so hopefully we'll be able to dodge it. His squad moves around here, and they drop a smoke grenade on themselves just for the extra armor, and the harder to hit, which is definitely convenient. And the other squad moves back behind the Redeemer, or behind the flamethrower there, just to try and take cover, because I can't really do anything about it. But then he decides, seeing as it's nearing the end of the game, because on turn 6 it'll be over, and he's got me on the ropes now, he's going to start moving out to either kill me or pick up the objective, and drops another smoke grenade in that little canyon. The Lanthos begin, and they pick up the first objective there, and move up the rest of the unit on the sides there to try and get a few shots before they go down. And so they move up, picking up that objective, and then they fire away at his commander, and I roll double 6s. So unfortunately I can't kill his commander, which was my intent there. And then everyone else pretty much grabs an objective. The Corporation begin their turn, moving up that squad on the side here, having one guy stay back so he can pick up that objective. And so he grabs that and then fires away with everything he wants at that last man in the unit over there. Does get a hit and adjusts it until he guarantees a wound, because he's got tons of command, and if he kills this guy then he does win due to points. And then his commander moves up, grabs a center objective, which is worth 2. This flamethrower picks up the objective right there for another one, and then the squad jumps over here for the objective for another one, and that is the end of the game.
Alright, MiniWarGamers, that is the end of this 350 point game, and Corporation won.
It's pretty close.
It was very close. And stay tuned for the post game, as we're going to talk about tactics, ideas, what went wrong, what was the plans on each side, and basically an overview.
And if you want to give your feedback to the Dark Potential beta rules, because we're still in beta, then go to the MiniWarGaming forums at miniwargaming.com/forum and go to the Dark Potential section. You can talk about it there. So you know how you always like to maybe complain about rule systems? Well, now's your chance to actually influence one by going and talking about it on the forums.
It's true, they change every day.
They do.
Alright, so stay tuned for the post game, and happy wargaming.